Hi, my name is Siva, founder of Lyzr, the full stack agent infrastructure platform designed for enterprises with built in responsible AI guardrails. And today, we're launching our Series A fundraising campaign. But instead of doing this the traditional way, we actually built an agent on Lyzr. Meet Agent Sam.
This is Sam here, and it's nice to meet you.
Agent Sam will interview me asking all the questions that you as an investor may have about Lyzr.
Thanks for the kind introduction, Siva. So let's start with some basic questions. What is Lyzr, and why did you decide to build Lyzr?
Lyzr is a no-code, low-code agent platform for building agents, multi-agent orchestrations, knowledge graphs, enterprise integrations, and even apps. But the idea for building Lyzr came from a personal pain point that I had building some of the early applications back in June 2023. I was building on LangChain and OpenAI function calling. While building was fun, but deploying and managing them in production was definitely a major pain point. Coming in from the enterprise world, I believed there could be a better way to meet the enterprise expectations with what these frameworks had to offer. That is why I decided to write Lyzr framework in July 2023. We were one of the first frameworks to come out, and ever since we've been working very closely with large enterprises, understanding their needs and improving the framework one module at a time.
That's great. There are tons of frameworks like LangGraph, N8N, Agent Space. What's different about Lyzr?
Almost 95% of all enterprise AI projects are still in proof of concepts. They are not moving to production. And we did ask CIOs what's stopping them from moving them to production. So 3 reasons came out. Number 1, hallucinations. Number 2, reliability. And number 3, explainability. So at Lyzr we thought, okay, what if we solve these problems, or what if we address these problems right at the agent core? So if you see Lyzr agent, we brought in the hallucination manager and the responsible AI guardrails native within the core agent. Any agent on Lyzr is responsible by design, handling aspects like PII redaction or toxicity control at an agent level. So you don't have to necessarily bring in third-party API every time for agents to be compliant. By doing this, we are able to help customers deploy the agents in production with far more trust and reliability.
Okay, if that's the case, tell me what's the traction like?
We now have 15,000 plus builders on the platform, 1,800 plus organizations, almost 60 plus paying customers, and over 100,000 production agents. We went from 0 to 250K in Q1, and in Q2, we are projected to hit 2 million ARR. The current number stands at 1.3 million ARR, including both live and the deals that are in procurement stage. So we are seeing a very strong traction. We continue to get over 400 inbound leads every month. So there is definitely a lot of interest in agents.
That's great. The traction sounds pretty strong for a B2B enterprise startup. Can you cite a few customer examples, and what are they building?
A Fortune 500 insurance advisory firm is building retirement planning and pension planning agents on Lyzr. We also have one of the largest airliner leveraging Lyzr to build agents that run focused marketing campaigns to increase the load factor in their airlines. We also work with several global system integrators who not only use Lyzr to automate their internal processes, for example, project management or support ticket management, etc., but they also build agents for their customers on Lyzr platform.
Awesome. So how are you landing these accounts? What is your GTM strategy?
Lyzr is a brand we've been around for 2 years, and I think we're already a household name in the enterprise space. We get about 400 leads a month, and we are busy meeting our customers, understanding their pain point, and see how we can address them with agents. But we also work very closely with several hyperscaler partners. For example, we have a strategic collaboration agreement with Amazon Web Services. We are a Google Springboard partner. We have strategic collaborations with IBM and Nvidia as well. We do work with a lot of GSIs and implementation partners. We have our own partner program where we bring on board boutique development partners and train them on how to build agents on Lyzr so that they can serve our customers and their customers better. But we're also seeing signs of early PLG. We see users automatically signing up on Lyzr, paying or upgrading to newer plans, and they continue to build agents and deploy them. Lyzr that way is built to be completely self-serve. And I think it's a combination of all these activities that has allowed us to establish a very strong brand presence among the enterprises.
Okay, so who are your main competitors?
We mostly see two types of competitors. One, the open source frameworks, primarily LangGraph. On the other hand, the hyperscalers like Google for that matter. At a framework level, Lyzr has brought in hallucination management modules and the responsible AI guardrails. So that kind of gives us an edge. But I would give a lot of credit to the Lyzr Agent Studio, the intuitive UI platform, which really unlocks a lot of value for our customers. Now you have developers and no-code builders build agents and ship them at scale. But on the other hand, when you look at the hyperscalers, I think the argument is it's kind of a slam dunk scenario for Lyzr because enterprises don't want to get logged in with someone like Google Agent Space. And Lyzr being LLM agnostic and cloud agnostic, you can build on Lyzr and you can port to any other cloud or even on-prem by integrating Nvidia and Meta Llama models. That gives a lot of autonomy to enterprises. And that is why I think we have an edge over even the larger hyperscalers like Google.
That's great. Now talk to me about some of your recent wins.
Recently, one of the world's largest banks, headquartered in New York, chose Lyzr as one of the top 3 agent platforms for their internal use. And this is after 4 rounds of elimination. So that kind of goes to show where Lyzr really stands among the enterprise players in this space.
Interesting. What do you think is the durable moat here?
I think in the world of AI, the moat is going to be the speed at which you ship. You saw the speed at which we've shipped over the last 5 months, growing to 15,000 plus builders on the platform. At Lyzr, we are building and accumulating blueprints for various industries and functions. We are focusing in the financial services space, so there are a lot of blueprints in banking and insurance and horizontal blueprints in marketing, sales, and HR that are being built. There are over 200 blueprints already, and these blueprints allow enterprise customers to reduce their experimentation time by 70%. How? These blueprints, which are nothing but multi-agent workflows, are clonable, customizable, and deployable, allowing organizations to go live much faster. By end of the year, we will get to about 1,000 plus working blueprints, and I think this is where our moat is going to be.
That's interesting. You spoke about blueprints and financial services. Is there any specific industry focus that you have?
Absolutely, yes. We are taking a lot of interest in the financial services space. We recently got into the prestigious FinTech Innovation Lab program. We don't know the 11 startups to get through out of 1,000 plus applications. We got a chance to work with some of the leading banks and insurance firms in the world. And I think the financial services space also allows us to focus more on aspects like agent entitlement policy, aspects like regulations around agents, etc. And that kind of keeps us ahead compared to what our competitors have to offer. And solving a financial services customer problem also allows us to solve literally every other industry problems because they are one of the most regulated industries in the world. So yes, we are taking a lot of interest in financial services as we move forward.
What's happening in 2025? Why do you think this is a breakout year for enterprise agents?
I think the new SEC and EU AI Act regulations are expected to come out pretty soon, as early as 2026, which is going to be far more, I would say, regulated. And I think as a framework and a platform, Lyzr is best positioned to address these. We're not only building these responsible AI guardrails and the hallucination management modules, we're also building knowledge graphs of regulatory bodies like FRB, FINRA, OCC, and so on. So we are taking, I would say, the right steps to ensure that all agents built on Lyzr comply not only with SEC but also the EU AI Act and any other, I would say, standards that are out there in the market.
Awesome. How big do you think is the market going to get?
The AI agents market is going to get as big as $155 billion by 2030. And almost 6 trillion labor costs would be replaced by AI agents. But I think we are still underestimating what this technology could do.
Okay, let's come back to the basics. What are your unit economics?
Our median ACV is about 40K and it's going up continuously as we release new pricing plans. We have about a 45-day sales cycle and close to 80% gross margin at this point in time. At the current rate, we would break even by as early as August 2025.
So, if you're going to be profitable soon, why raise now?
I think we've hit a repeatable business model now. This is time for growth. We can definitely continue to grow the way we are growing and become profitable, but that's not the goal. We want to become like an AWS or a Snowflake. We want to grow really fast. And I think raising capital from the right partner would allow us to grow with a lot of discipline, but at the same time capture market before it's too late.
Okay, so how much money are you raising?
So we are raising 15 million Series A to help us expand our platform engineering team in California and our business team here in New York, where we are headquartered.
That's great. Okay, so tell me about your team and why do you think you have the right team members to do the job?
We are a team of developers and business leaders from the enterprise world. I started my career as a Teradata developer at Tesco, and then I did a few product roles before doing my first startup in 2015. I built Asia Pacific's #1 AI/ML consulting startup, winning several awards with AWS and Microsoft. And in 2019, I exited the business, selling it to a publicly listed system integrator, where I joined to lead their global AWS business group in 2019. Over 3 years, I grew their business from 65 million to 200 million, clocking over 400 millions of business in about 3 years. So I come with a good blend of startup and enterprise experience. So is my team. My co-founder Ani, Columbia grad, has led growth roles at companies like Rocket Internet. I have my CTO, Jimmy, worked at Ericsson and Cisco, and he built his own ad tech startup in South Africa before moving to Lyzr. And I have Rob and Jeremy. They all come from the world of SAP and AWS. So like I said again, we are from the enterprise world and we understand enterprise.
All right, Siva, how do we come on board?
If you believe in what we do and if you like the direction that we're taking, please share your interest by visiting lyzr.ai/invest. We are planning to close the round in the next 30 days, and we're looking for the right partner who we could partner with and grow Lyzr into an AWS or a Snowflake kind of company.
Build safe and responsible agents. Introducing Lyzr.